Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. This absolutely gorgeous Saturday morning. I hope it finds you well, and I can't thank you enough for spending some time with us here at Friedman Adventures. Hey, if you don't mind, hit that like button, share these videos with a friend, and subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. You can also follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. It is so great to be with you all. Man, do we have a lot to cover with you. We're going to go long range. We'll go all the way up to the Channel Islands and so much more. Bluefin tuna, great halibut fishing on the Endeavor, and a lot of great signals for local boats right now. Sand bass and even bluefin tuna for some of the extended 3/4 day trips. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, if I ever needed a swig of coffee, this is the morning when I need it. I got in about 2 o'clock this morning from the Orange County Fair. Of course, I bartend out there, and so many of you have been coming by and saying hello at Baja Blues. I deeply appreciate your friendship and you taking the time out of your busy day to say hello. All right, let's jump into it. We'll go long range. First of all, let's talk about the long range bite because it's been spectacular for the boats on the 8-day trips right now. They just continue to hammer on that 40 to 70 pound yellowfin tuna. Great yellowtail fishing. In fact, on the Red Rooster 3 yesterday, they had phenomenal yellowtail fishing. Fly line bait, surface iron. It was really great throwing some pargo, and the Rooster had a spectacular day. And all the other guys who've been heading down there on a regular basis, the Intrepid, the Royal Polaris, the Independence, everybody's been experiencing that same kind of fishing. Also, however, on their way home, many guys go into the coast, they catch more yellowtail. They also have had some good hits on the white sea bass and wide open calico bass fishing. Wow, great long range fishing out of San Diego right now. Let's take you up to the coastal town of Ensenada, 70 miles below the border. That beautiful place. I love driving that Baja coast into Mexico and fishing out of Ensenada, where the variety is still really, really good right now. Let's talk inshore first of all. You've got calico and sand bass, plenty of rockfish. There's barracuda flurries, some big bonita, and those yellowtail are still around. They push bait up to the surface, the birds get on the bait, and then your pongero will run you over there, and then it's up to you to throw a surface iron on those fish and take a couple of winds fishing with 40 pound, and you are in the ball game. Really good inshore fishing. However, let me just mention to you that yellowtail bite, that inshore yellowtail bite is susceptible to boat pressure, and it's the weekend, so there's a ton of boats. I talked to a couple of guys down there, and they said it's pretty crowded. We're running around here with a bunch of other guys, so we'll see if we can't come up with something. That goes for everywhere, for that matter. When you have all those boats on it, it makes things more difficult, as you'll hear as today's report unwinds. Offshore, you can still find some really healthy kelp patties, and you can find some barren kelp patties also. But when you find the right one, the yellowtail bite's been excellent. And the grade of fish, really impressive. Most of it up over 12 pounds, some even over 20 pounds. Talking about the yellowtail. The bluefin tuna bite has been off and on. It's a little bit scratchy right now. Not all that great. Trolling Mad Mac lures. The Ensenada guys are doing that. And they're also throwing those dart jigs like, Daiwa Sakana or a Cold Sniper. 120 grams seems to work best when you see a foamer of bluefin. You toss it right in the middle and pray that they're going to bite it. So that is Ensenada. That is going along really, really well. Let's take you up here into, now, when we're talking bluefin tuna, we're literally talking from Ensenada all the way up to the Channel Islands. It has been really impressive to see the amount of fish. Are they biting? Not all the time. I'll tell you, it's been a little scratchy. In fact, I just talked to Max on the Highliner. He's on the backside of San Clemente Island Saturday morning, and he said tuna fishing is very difficult right now. They're seeing the stuff, but it's just not biting all that well. Now, having said that, they had some excellent fishing yesterday on kelp patty yellowtail, ending up with like 80 nice big fat yellowtail yesterday. As the kids are going by here, getting ready for the next Olympics perhaps. So once again, they had great kelp patty yellowtail fishing so far here today on the backside of Clemente. Pretty slow. Pacific Queen on their most recent 3-day trip, 128 bluefin tuna. The queen fishes hard all the time. Queen, New Load, Pacific Dawn. I don't even want to get into mentioning boats. Pegasus, those guys all fish super hard all the time and come up with some impressive scores. However, that overnight kind of bluefin tuna fishing, let's talk San Diego and elsewhere for that matter, seems to be way scratchier right now. Very difficult on that bluefin. A lot of guys are opting to go to San Clemente Island and fish the bigger yellows out there. Some guys like Max on the Highliner and the guys on the Highliner are fishing kelps and trying to get a tuna bite during the daytime. But it's been a lot more scratchy, which means you got to get tougher. Bring some 25-pound fluorocarbon. You definitely want to have your 40 and 60 along with you, but you definitely want to have some lighter stuff, and some smaller circle hooks are in order when the bite is scratchy like this. And of course, choosing a good hot bait makes all the difference in the world. So keep that in mind when you're fishing this bluefin tuna out of San Diego right now or elsewhere, because we're running into a lot of that. You know, Todd Woods, he is a pro bass angler. He's a dear friend of the Friedman Adventures family, and he came up with that gorgeous bluefin tuna with Trident Sportfishing. Todd, way to go, my man. I'm loving it. Justin Wiseman, private boater with a 120-pound bluefin tuna. Beautiful catch there. A gorgeous fish, Justin. Way to go. So there's kite fish, there's fly line fish, there's, the small dart jig type of stuff, trolling around with spreader bars. That's all been pretty productive. It all depends. And again, this Saturday morning off the west end of Catalina and back behind there's a lot of boats right now. A tremendous amount of boat pressure, making it more difficult indeed. Just to give you an idea of the threat of this bluefin tuna, let me give you some of the guys that caught some. Gale Force, full day trip. Leaves in the morning, comes back that very same day. Had a bluefin tuna yesterday and fished the island for bass, looking for yellowtail and that kind of stuff. Out of Redondo, the Navigante, 13 bluefin tuna to 150 pounds. The Native Son had some bluefin tuna yesterday out of 22nd Street Landing, but a lot of boat pressure, no question about it. And the Gray Light out of Cisco Sportfishing in Oxnard, California, had 4 bluefin tuna. Not wide open, but it shows you the spread to this thing. The geography, it is vast right now. And once that light switch gets going again, it's going to get crazy. There's daytime fish and there's nighttime fish. The nighttime fish, you're fishing with like 350 gram jigs, 200-pound bite leader, 100-pound spectra. That's going to get it done beautifully for you. The nighttime bite at times is really good, but it has been spotty. The bluefin bite is a little bit more spotty right now. We'll keep our eyes on it. Hopefully it's going to get going again. The Coronado Islands, talk about boat pressure. You ought to see that parking lot this morning. It is really crowded there. Some private boaters expressing their frustration to me about that. Some other guys have already caught their limits this morning, and sport boats trying to get in there, finagle their way in, get a good spot, and try to catch some more yellowtail. The islands shut off on us for a little while, but the reason why they shut off was perfectly obvious. It was a drop in water temperature and the water getting mucked up. That's over with, and they're biting again there. Some pretty darn good fishing going on at the Coronado Islands. Liberty, 74 yellowtail. Mission Bell, 24 yellows. And Grande, 25 yellowtail. There's a lot of yellows there. But again, this boat pressure, and you would expect to see that in August on a weekend where you have gorgeous weather and a lot of yellowtail. You're just going to get a lot of boat pressure. That is part of the problem. Majority of that fish at the islands, 25-pound fluorocarbon, a good hot bait. It's pretty good grade, 8 to, 20 pounds like that. And there are surface iron fish. San Clemente Island, sometimes you can come up with some incredible yellowtail action. Now remember, in the early morning hours, you're trying to make live squid, and then you're dropper looping. When I say early morning, I mean like 2 o'clock in the morning, very, very early, fishing till daybreak and beyond a little bit. You can catch some nice dropper loop fish on an 8-ounce torpedo and a big hook like a 5-0. Even a 7-0 size hook will work really, really well fishing live squid. Then in the daytime, you meander around the island. If you want to catch some calico bass, it's been wide open at times, really good. Or if you're just on the hunt for yellowtail, you'll find some fish also. Pretty good fishing at San Clemente. A lot of boats there also. And part of this is, in years gone by, it was LA Orange County based boats that fished at San Clemente Island. Now, San Diego based boats are up here looking for that big bluefin tuna, and they go to Clemente also. So that boat pressure is there. Tribute, 25 yellows to halibut. Thunderbird with 13 yellowtail at San Clemente Island. The Amigos had some great trips out of 22nd Street Landing. So we continue to see some really excellent stuff out of SCI. Catalina, there's bluefin nearby. Boats like the Pursuit are fishing that bluefin tuna, but they're also able to fish the island. They go back and forth. You know, the guys on the Pursuit are going to make a decision based on current facts, what's going on, and listening and talking to all their sources. And when they get that pinned down, they'll take you either offshore or to the island or both, which is the beauty of fishing right now at Catalina Island. A little bit of yellowtail there, some decent calico bass fishing, whitefish, sheepshead, El Patron doing much of the same thing on a Long Beach sport fishing, and you can get on the El Patron by going to www.longbeachsportfishing.org. They're sold out, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sundays. They've got some room, however, on the weekdays. You ought to take advantage of it. Ultra limited load, great fishing, the El Patron on a Long Beach sport fishing. You should get on the El Patron. Up in the Channel Islands, we are watching the Endeavor because Doug Tikt, Friedman Adventures family member, is on board the Endeavor. Yesterday was the first of their two-day trip. Eddie Berrigan, his daughter Bella, whom we love so much, are also out there with a great group of anglers. Yesterday morning, Doug got a message off to me and said, Phil, absolutely phenomenal halibut bite. He said, I think we've got over 50 halibut on board. This is yesterday morning. He said he had 5, and his big one went 33 pounds. He had 5 halibut, Doug did. Great halibut fishing, and I'm expecting to hear some white sea bass news today. With white sea bass or not, they're having a phenomenal trip on there, and they're probably going to top off with a bunch of rockfish in addition to that. Great fishing on the Endeavor Ventura Sport Fishing. I don't know how I can get any better than that. Mirage, 5 halibut and 3 white sea bass up there. There's sea bass, there's halibut, there's some decent calico bass fishing and barracuda for the local guys, some yellowtail swimming around up there, and then if all else fails, you get to load up the sacks with rockfish, as did the Island Spirit out of Ventura Sport Fishing yesterday. Limits of rockfish, tremendous fishing for them, and tomorrow kids fish free. Yeah, you can't beat it. Kids fish free. Paid adult, kid 12 years and under, they go for free on the Island Spirit if they have any room at all. Then Monday, Tuesday, you got plenty of room on the rig. You should jump on there and take advantage of it. Island Spirit out of Ventura Sport Fishing, 805-676-3474. Captain Daniel Ottaway, a dear Friedman Adventures family member. He does a great job with that great crew. And the guys at Ventura Harbor Sport Fishing are the very, very best. So take advantage of that. Unfiled taxes, call our friend Tim Marquez this morning. He will take great care of you. And if you have heating and or air conditioning needs, you want to call John Lopez. John is standing by to help you out right now. Let's talk about local fishing. San Diego, still some really good sand bass fishing going on down there. Sand bass fishing's been steady for weeks now, and it is outstanding, with a few exceptions. Every once in a while, there is a miss, but for the most part, you're fishing 15-pound. You can even fish 20, but you want to get more bites, drop down to 15-pound fluorocarbon, a good hot bait, and a dropper loop rig, and you can get it done. But there's also fish on the plastics and all kinds of other lures that you can fish. Really excellent fishing going on down there right now as we continue to see excellent sand bass fishing. There's also an occasional yellowtail and white sea bass, and also we see some really, really good rock fishing. Should you want to turn your attention to that, up there around Dana Wharf sport fishing, good calico bass fishing, mostly shorts, but a lot of action. And then up here in the LA Orange County area, the Victory had limits of sand bass yesterday. You know, we keep putting our foot on the gas and then it comes off. Good sand bass fishing, great sand bass fishing on the Victory yesterday. Hopefully that is a sign of things to come. Maybe it's a late season and that will continue to develop. We'll watch it for you very, very closely. Other boats, Monte Carlo and several other guys are picking away at the bass. And a lot of guys are fishing like it's December, you know, sculpin, whitefish, rockfish. You got to take what Mother Nature gives you up there in the Santa Monica Bay. It's been mostly rockfish all season long with some good twilight bass fishing at night in that neck of the woods. Albacore! We caught a couple of albies the other day on a yacht, but since that time, no evidence of any fishing. There's a lot of coverage, and there's been guys like the producer who have specifically gone back out to that area to see if they could catch another longfin or two. And we still have not seen it. So we'll keep our eyes on that. And hopefully that is going to continue to develop in the right direction. Like to see some more albacore down here in this neck of the woods. We've seen them up there off Half Moon Bay, and further north of there's been really good albacore fishing. But down here in SoCal, northern Baja, not all that much going on right now. All right, in the Southern California surf, I've got to direct you down to Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California, about a 5-minute walk, maybe a 10-minute walk from here. It depends on how fast you walk. Down there on the corner, they got all your bait needs and tackle. And of course, I'm talking tackle from trout fishing right on up to big game, bluefin, tuna, and marlin, and everything else. And all the surf fishing baits you'll need to have a successful day in the surf. And they're also giving away a free custom rod every single month. Big Fish Bait and Tackle. You can win that free custom rod every single month. A new one gets given away. Just go in there, buy your ruler. They'll give you all the details after that. Good surf fishing. We're seeing some yellowfin croaker up and down the coast down there in Huntington. A lot of corvina, some corvina being taken here today. I see several surf fishermen. I don't see anybody catching anything at this specific moment, but we definitely have seen some pretty good stuff out of these guys. And there's the occasional halibut going on also. So that also is really good stuff. And we've seen a few spot fin croaker. Those are going to be taken on bait for sure. You're going to want to fish bait to catch those spot fin croaker. All right, I don't know what to tell you. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you can't get out on the water, grab somebody you really love and go for a walk on the beach or a run on the beach and have some fun, because it's beautiful and we are truly blessed to have this. More updates today. If anything else goes on right here at Friedman Adventures, don't forget Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We're there with constant updates and even more content for you all. We'll see you a little bit later today, I'm sure. And of course, if I don't see you a little later today, right here, I hope to see you somewhere else really, really soon. Have a great Saturday and a wonderful weekend, my friends.